that comes from you. In my life, yeah. Oh my god! Sorry about that. I'm trying to find the clip from last night. Yeah, I can't find it. So I can show you my thoughts. I'm going to show you it because I just do can be because I know how it is my friend. And I'm not going to break that with anybody in the chat. So please have some respect for me and know that I'm doing the right thing. Because I'm not tolerate that. Queen Bee is a nice person. You just got to give her a chance. And don't come for me, Queen Bee. You can have fun if you listen to me. Okay. Uh, so, yeah, Buddy did a offer thing this morning. So, let me ring. I can't find that interview. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. Mm, look at the drum track now. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go put up Queen Bee's chat. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Janet. Share screen. Share screen. No, ma'am. Let me see. Oh. No, wait, no. Sorry. Okay. Wait, Bay has any room to talk. That's not the gym, no. Miss Ugly Face Hill. Maybe I should call you Ugly Bay.
Blob and the stature appear to be very specific people that we all are known to. Before we start getting into the case of Sebastian Rogers and the America's Most Wanted, I'm going to say hi to you, and then we're going to take a few moments and learn a little bit about a very highly disturbing case here in the state of Florida.
Oh.
And it leads right into our domestic violence avocation. If you are in a domestic violence type of situation, please get help now. Get out now. Leave everything behind and leave. The most dangerous time in any domestic violence situation, whether it's for a man or a woman, is when they are leaving the domestic situation. So you need to have a plan in place. But my biggest statement I can say is when you have an opportunity to leave, you leave. You cut ties.
He left. Okay. Hi, Cass. Hi, Team C. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the clip that I have for Queen B. And then we'll go into what Blue Humble says this morning. And nasty as. Oh my God. No, I'm not revisit. I'm gonna show you parts of it and what problems I have with it. My boy Derek. Okay, let's go. Sorry. I don't know how Queen gets.
And he didn't look like a cartoon character.
So was abusive to his own daughter and his ex-wife. Well, yeah, but Seth is too. So.
Yep.
Shit, we were all in.
I mean, it does go.
Seeing and exploited children. Thank you so very much, everyone, for
joining. Look at this because you don't know.
Here at this time, so pissed off because I was like, "What? Where?"
Okay.
East.
Well, there's always a positive. I mean, we can. You know what I'm saying? There's always a positive to it. Yeah.
But he hates the
premium, so I don't have to watch.
Dedicated to solving cases and helping others.
Okay.
Derek Levasseur. You may know him from Big Brother, but he also has worked undercover with the FBI, DEA, and Secret Service. Elizabeth Smart, a survivor and advocate whose abduction recovery was made possible through America's Most. Payne Lindsay, whose investigative true crime podcast, Up and Vanished, has brought cold cases back into the national spotlight. And tonight's special guest, Callahan Walsh, a familiar face to America's Most Wanted. Callahan does incredible work with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Thank you so very much, everyone, for joining us. Let's get to our first case now. A missing child, Sebastian Rogers. On February 25th, 2024, Sebastian's mother said goodnight to her 15-year-old son. The next morning, Sebastian was gone.
My name is Dean Juvenile. We are white male, 3 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, 120 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants. You know, those have a form of autism.
Just going around.
Sebastian is tall and skinny, has a contagious smile, loves video games, loves cats.
Boundless amounts of energy. Sebastian reminds me of a deer prancing through the woods, you know, enjoying the smell, the breeze, new things. That's my son.
February 25th, the day before Sebastian went missing, Chris was in Memphis at work. So Sebastian and I went to Texas Roadhouse. After dinner, right around 9 o'clock, he laid down. I heard a noise in his room. I said, I don't care what you're doing, but you got to knock it off and you got to go to bed. And he answered, yes, ma'am. And I said, okay. And that was the last time that I spoke with Sebastian. The next day.
Another ice cream phone. I'm just like, she has a pain in her voice, but maybe she's deaf and dumb. I'm sorry.
Morning, when I went in his room, he wasn't in his bed. After a minute or two, when I couldn't find him, I called Chris and I said, I can't find Sebastian. He's not in the house.
I got off work and I had a text message from Sebastian's stepfather.
I said, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but Sebastian missed him.
I headed straight over to their house.
I started driving through the neighborhood. I was looking everywhere, like, where is he? What happened? Did he go with someone? Did someone take him? By the time I pulled into the school, Christopher was already telling me to turn around because the authorities were on their way.
They used helicopters. They used drones. They used.
Buddy, you don't know what time of everything happened. Not even justice for cops and police. Okay? You both need to sit down. What I have for you last night was nothing but sick.
TV, horseback.
An extensive search didn't yield one significant lead or even a glimpse of the boy on any doorbell cam video. Days later, investigators combed through a landfill, still saying they had found nothing.
And see,
Come on, Queen. Why do you have to stop? Go.
in the fight.
Come on.
So we talk about theories now, Payne, and what might have happened with Sebastian. What are your thoughts?
I mean,
here's his house. They searched miles outside of that neighborhood for days. Helicopters on the ground. They even drained a lake. He's nowhere. I don't think Sebastian would have gone outside on his own. There's someone else involved here. Somebody who was familiar to him, but a stranger to everyone else. We also have to consider he could have.
Did you hear that, Burhan Bay? Get this right, okay? This prince did nothing to him. This prince did not deserve no. Okay, so stop like bullshit. Oh no.
Left on his own volition. We know children on the autism spectrum tend to wander.
Yes.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, nearly half of all children on the autism spectrum will go missing at some point from their environment.
Wow.
But I think something caused him to flee his home. Was that into the open arms of a predator? Or was there a roaming predator that just happened to see Sebastian walking down through the neighborhood? And to me, one thing that stands out is his shoes. He always wore his shoes, according to his mom.
Yeah. She shared a story that as a younger boy, he walked through a pile of dirt, turned out to be a bed of fire ants. And he had a thing about always wearing his socks and shoes. I can't think that a 15-year-old child would get up in the middle of the night and leave without his shoes in February. So for me, that says that someone has come and taken him, or someone else is involved. Someone knows something. And as easy as it is to be like, oh, that could never happen. Like, your bedroom is the safest place in the world. Well, no, bedrooms are not the safest place in the world. I was taken from my bedroom. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
So when it can happen to anyone. So don't sit there and suggest or even say that the guilty. Look at you. You're guilty of harassing them. Again, you want others not to talk about these people or Sebastian.
You consider what you just said, Elizabeth. According to Katie, that night, she goes to bed, he goes to bed, then around 10 p.m., there's a bump or a thud. She calls out to him. He says, I'm fine. Yes, ma'am. I'll start moving. And then that's the end of it. And according to her, when she went to bed, the doors were locked. And when she woke up, the doors were locked. Were the windows locked? That's a big question. Were they secure? Because if they weren't, it could mean one of two things. That thud, him responding, was someone else in there with him?
Or someone was with him and going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I do want to bring up this home security camera footage. This looks like foot traffic right in here.
Yeah, if you look at the footage here, you can see subject number 1, allegedly, right? It looks like something that's illuminated, which, by the way, we haven't mentioned it yet. According to Katie, there was a flashlight that Sebastian liked using.
Yeah.
So according to Katie, there was a flashlight missing, which we already knew that. However, they're trying to say that there was that was two people back there. But why did they come out and first things first and say that the police showed them it was a trash truck?
I agree, but I also want to say too that the flashlight he had didn't even work.
He said on his personal YouTube channel that the cops were trying to cover that up for a reason. Reason unknown. I don't know why he said that. I don't know what makes him think that. But when the department had a mess up, then I always try to. I know I didn't cut that now. I'm so confused because there's different videos I have seen. Is this the night video or is this is the press videos? I'm so confused. I have seen many videos, so I cannot say disagreeing like can be on this, but why are they are kind of changing that. I don't know why.
Right.
I was trying to make everybody has to sleep.
Because he's already said it.
So, yeah.
As a team than it is to fight against.
Come on, Queen.
The drivers. Like,
come on, Queen. Queen Pete. Oh, I'm sorry. What are the people?
5 hours.
Turn to play this. Is that okay if I finish it?
Yeah.
Consider that. It does look like two people holding flashlights.
Yes, that paints a picture that is foul play.
So I want to help the public now. We want.
But not, he said it's fair play, but the other didn't say it was the parents. Let's make this clear, okay? It was not caused by the parents. Buddy is trying to twist us and said, oh, it's fair play. Even the, no ma'am. It was because of their parents.
Want to find Sebastian. What do you say to people, Elizabeth?
First of all, to the 16s of the country, the high school age, really. If you know someone who looks like Sebastian, if you know something about Sebastian, tell your parents, call into the show, call the police, report it. This might be the break that we need. To the parents, if you have seen a 16-year-old boy that looks like Sebastian, do not be afraid to pick up the phone and call.
There is a $50,000 reward to help find him. Sebastian Rogers was about 5'5" when he was last seen, and he wears glasses. Sebastian is not comfortable with strangers.
If you're someone from this small town and you're in this neighborhood, check your cameras. There might be someone sitting on some doorbell cameras footage. I bet you he's in this small town in Tennessee.
Wow, that's an interesting theory.
But this isn't the most rural area in the world.
That looks good. I mean, he looks good. That sad profile. He looks good. I'm happy he's doing good.
Out in the Rocky Mountains, this is a neighborhood. There's a highway going this up. There's high foot traffic everywhere, and still no sign of him.
Wow. Thank you to our team of experts. And you all know our purpose is to examine these cases and give people watching information so they can bring the missing home. And I want to thank Callahan. I'm so glad that you're.
Okay, Miss Penny. Thank you, YPS. So, she goes on the sidebar on Genetic. I'm not going to do it. I think that's under grace.
Water, unearthing any and all information related to his son, and he still has the ability to speak highly of his son and keep it focused on his son. You're truly going to see two different personalities on here. One that is seeking a child and one that is trying to pose as there's nothing to see over here. And you see it clear as day in this America's Most Wanted missing persons footage.
February 25th, the day before Sebastian went missing, Chris was in Memphis at work. So Sebastian and I.
It's so important to make sure he was at work. Isn't it funny how they want to make sure he is the furthest person away? Yet he's the only person that has never provided us his alibi. Katie's provided us her alibi. Seth has even produced.
Try again, nice try. Seth is missing 2 hours from that day, so don't sit there and lie about that. You need to know that, so you need to know other players, what the players are doing in this case. So don't sit there and say that, because, honey,
Used work records, like work records.
well, the cops
keep changing from
No.
interview to interview.
No.
Of the interviews that they do. All of them of the interview this way. And he does that a lot in these interviews.
He answered, yes, ma'am. I said, okay.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
That was the last time that I spoke with Sebastian. The next morning, when I went in his room, he wasn't in his bed. After a minute or two, when I couldn't find him, I called Chris and I said,
Now it's down to a minute or two. The original statement was 3 minutes. Then on Chronicles of Olivia, it was a minute flat. Now it's 2 to 3 minutes, or 1 to 2 minutes.
I can't find Sebastian. He's not in the house.
I got off work and I had a text message from Sebastian's stepfather.
I said, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but
That is not what he said. I don't know how to tell you this. No, his beer.
But you're not going to. What are you trying to do? This is not your story, number one. Number two, back out. Not interfering with this case.
Very first word
Oh.
was because we have an image of her in her car.
You know what? You know why? Chris said, don't be mad. Do you know why? Because Seth has a bad temper. That's why.
With no window roll down, no phone in her hand. Now,
Wait, you're not supposed to have your phone when you're driving. I mean, I know you have phone law, but the phone needs to be put down.
and she could have Bluetooth. It could have been going on in the car.
No.
For justice. And so that tells me that something came out of that landfill.
No.
I don't know if it's a mattress. I think a mattress. Who's that? Criminal Theory in Action. Thank you for that question. It could be. Now, understand that I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know, but the way everything's to go through, they would have. These people brought those people into the world of Seth Rogers because of their feelings, because everybody's looking at them.
No, people are harassed struck by you. Oh my God. Bobby, I think Betty's falling out. But you know what? This comment around this so-called hard ass, she's not a hard ass. She's a weak bitch. Sorry. What are you doing?
Let's listen to their feelings again. Why not?
we just have speculations. We get criticized. The father gets criticized. Law enforcement's been criticized.
Online sleuths are really analyzing videos and creating their own theories.
Sebastian is putting something in his pocket.
Surveillance footage from a neighbor shows two people outside of Sebastian's house that night.
Boom. And she's absolutely right.
Something happened.
Didn't she just... Okay. That's not a good thing to admit.
Tonight marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers disappeared.
Oh,
near
look
Beach
how
High
she
School
does
in
this.
Sumner County.
Look how she does
My
this.
life is not the same without my son.
Oh, you mean out of all the crap Seth is going through?
How about Katie
He's
and
not
Chris?
talking about his feelings? He's not talking about social media's criticism of him? We've listened to him be put through a meat grinder, a lot worse than the parents we suspect of doing something to this child.
Did you not do it, fat face? So shut the fuck up.
I can guarantee that. Yet he hasn't brought up one thing he has gone through searching for his son, even though we've watched it unfold here on social media. You don't...
Because of you intolerant. Do you not get that? You cause damage. You do damage. Just like Jason, just like Smalley.
Hear him.
He just said it, you dumbass. Let's go back.
Shows two people outside of Sebastian's house.
Yeah, she likes to play.
Boom. And she's absolutely right.
Something happened.
Yeah. Making up dirty
Tonight
shit.
marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers disappeared near Beach High School in Sumner County.
My life is not the same without my son.
Oh, you mean out of all the crap Seth is going through?
How about Katie and Chris?
He's not talking about his feelings? He's not talking about social media's criticism of him? We've listened to him be put through a meat grinder, a lot.
No. Katie and Chris had it a lot worse. They had to move so they didn't at least stop. Probably by your assistant, Sonia.
Worse than the parents we suspect of doing something to this child.
Wrong again.
I can guarantee that.
No, you can't.
Yet he hasn't brought up one thing he has gone through searching for his son, even though we've watched it unfold here on social media. You don't hear him talking about himself or his freaking feelings. I like Christina too. But you don't hear Seth talking about or getting in his feelings. Only the military trained pansies.
How fucking dare you? You haven't sold. You haven't gone to war. You haven't fact. This young little weak ass bitch that abuses don't like you fucking called. At least you got the guts to say and do things. At least you got a chance to make something out of yourself. Unlike you, you just make yourself a chemical, a thief, a drug addict, a meth head.
Only the military trained pansies.
Near Beach High School.
Okay, Say that again, bitch.
My life is
No.
not the same without.
For you.
I like Christina too. But you don't hear Seth talking about or getting in his feelings. Only the military trained pansies.
How fucking dare you? You never been in service. Don't you ever talk about I bet you don't back anything except yourself.
Only the military trained pansies. What a disgrace to the military those two people are.
No, you are the Grace. You are the Jesus Christ. You say you're not being a journalist, but you know what? You can't help yourself. You can't help yourself going to job. You can't help yourself shut your fucking mouth because you have ODD. A real woman that take care of her mouth and take classes and be classy, but you're not.
Tonight marks 1 year since Sebastian
Contact
Rogers disappeared near Beach High School in Sumner County.
Closer to Kellen. Why? Because there was an exterior camera that pointed to a boat in the front yard of this particular house. These people were concerned about their boat. It seemed like their boat is valuable to them. They put a camera up and pointed this camera right at their boat. It was to monitor their boat. And now, granted, it did get a lot of the house that's...
Okay, here's where she confesses something.
Central to 4780 Warren 12. Juvenile left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving.
Right here.
Okay, pause.
Okay.
Do you see that grassy plot? That's not public property. That's private. Know the difference. You backslid. Crazy. Newton.
See this? Let me see if I can blow this up. So the only way you can really get past that without jumping through the ditch is walking down their fence right here and behind it through the trees. This is right here something that a third party would not know how to do. Wouldn't think about going down.
You don't know that, baby. Are you fucking kidding with me? You evenness has to stop, sweetheart. Because some person goes fuck a... You know what? Sorry. You see that? The lamppost? See the curve? She had to step on that. So yes, he did step on the property. Bam, baby. Bam.
On this fence line, except people that know where the cameras are in the neighborhood. They would try to keep themselves off cameras. So they would probably go down the side of this. Let's see if we can find a little bit place, something.
In a baby blue Infinity.
In the area. Check one hold out, just same way.
Let me explain this to them. That's shocking. That is.
So I can find where I'm looking for.
But
It was a perfect spot, a perfect shot on the outside of that house that said everything I wanted it to say, and I think it was up here.
Is this yours, babe? How fucking disgusting. Like, you're disgusting.
It's right.
No cut, no cash. So. Oh, it's my
right there. See it? There's a walk spot right by this fence that gets them around the ditch and out on this side over here. See that little white satellite? If you take their fence and walk right down straight it, you'll get past these trees and this
can I have you see this picture? Has anyone looked in this ditch for him? So he took it out just to play like a kid that he was of his age. What if he like hurt his ankle and twisted it and fall down the ditch just across from it? You know?
whatever it's called, the little tube that comes out of the ground. Culvert. The culvert. So you got a culvert here, a ditch that kind of runs through the backside of this property. And the only way you can really get down it without having to jump in it is walking down this fence line around these trees. And once you're around the trees, you're on the other side of the ditch. So tell me, who do you know that would know that? I didn't know that until I looked at it, but I was looking at a different angle because I thought they came out on the other side. But now I really truly believe they got on this side.
What's wrong with your face?
Somehow. And it always makes me wonder if that secret door has access to the inside of their home, say in their master closet, because it is a big crawl space. That is a larger crawl space. Most crawl spaces are like a 12 by 12. This one is like, I don't know, like 18 or 20 inches by 36. I mean, it's a large door on the side of their house. And I keep wondering, some people have crawl spaces. The majority of people have crawl spaces with access to the inside of their home. And I've always been trying to figure out how they got on this side of the house without walking around the front. Because there's only one gate that I can find on this fence, and that's over by where they park all the vehicles. This side doesn't have one. So the only way they can be outside of this gate in my...
How fucking dare you? Are you still looking at the house? You don't got to wrap this out. No. So she's going and giving us information?
Law enforcement body. Absolutely accurate.
She's spinning right here. Let's enjoy this as she spins.
They have done no press conferences. They told the entire world and their community to kiss their ass. They don't have to answer to anyone. And they don't have to solve a case. And all they have to do is arrest anybody that mouths how horrible their work is. Where are the independent searches? Where? I'd like them to say, hey, we looked in this area. Nothing to see.
Yeah, babe.
See over here.
Yeah.
We've gotten a big fat zero.
No.
We've got one person on there. We've only had...
This is about you, honey.
Had a week worth of searches, and God forbid you ask the public for help. They don't want no public help because they got this. They got their broom and they got the rug lift.
Come on, buddy. You're being so dramatic.
Lifted up and they're just sweeping it right up under that rug. That's Sumner County. And I'm not going to believe otherwise. Because they have done...
They don't care. Who are you in this situation? Not his mom, not stepmom, nobody. Nobody cares about what you do. They care about whether you're breaking the law or not.
Done the bidding for these nasty ass people.
Wrong or good?
They have failed to arrest them for the clear abuse to this child.
How about self-abuse? You're going to play that card and let me play another card, okay? How about self-abuse? 3 CPS reports. Maybe not 3, 2. 2 CPS reports. Chris has one more. Don't ever play that card because self can be in a war of hurt.
And they want to arrest anybody with a loud mouth and a bullhorn.
No, you're stalking, harassing, defaming them. No, I'm not going to play this game. You know what you did.
But they don't want to do their flipping job.
They have.
Not my problem.
Yes, it is.
We're going to keep exposing them. And I don't care if they have to bury me under the jail. I'll dig my way out and we'll still keep exposing these MFers.
No.
Get off your ass and start looking for Sebastian.
Why don't you get after that? You start looking for Sebastian. lazy piece of shit cunt.
Bastion Wayne Drake Rogers, Sumner County Sheriff. That's the message from the Bullhorn Betty channel.
Nobody cares about each other. You're irrelevant. You're nothing. No, you don't have any places in the government. You have no control over things. Don't look at me like that because you know I'm like.
Come get me. I'm in Florida. I'm pretty sure there's an arrest warrant being typed up as we speak because I think Sumner County is a joke.
I think you as a joke. This is not YouTube. Like dead, it's not YouTube like as a journalist, as a professional. You're not no professor. You're not no journalist. Out for the kids and bees.
I think it's a joke.
I think you're
Thank
a
you,
joke.
Debbie, for the super stick. They have access to that because it's driving me that crazy. I'm going nuts over this. Like, I want to know how they got on that side of the house. It's on the opposite side of the house of Sebastian's room. It's on the opposite side of the house. It's all,
When it comes to landfill searches, everyone or most
have done it. So I figured we would go through some of the videos that I took while I was out there to show you some trees that still have.
Okay. Like, do you think this is normal?
any further.
Do I have it already on a different play?
There we go. Yeah, I haven't had anything and kicked you guys off.
So there's the nighttime view. As you can see how dark it is.
Think this
You guys can see that.
is his job? Because let me tell you, as a YouTuber, no. Stalking at 3 a.m. is not a good look for you. But go ahead.
All right. So
It
now
is
I
dark.
You see my screen right now? And now I see. And this couldn't help Chris and Kane. Just saying.
You can
But
see
it's
it.
not.
Lights are between trees, so those
And there's the
Yes, it drives by the house 3 or 4 more times. Do you not think that's suspicious? Because I do. I think that's stalking. God knows.
blew it up. You can see that there are the cameras. Look at all the bushes. Now, if you had no knowledge of this area, are you going to be in the middle of the night trying to make your way through these bushes right here? And look how far down it goes. I don't think we have a good perspective of the drop it has, but if you
So stalkers. Yes.
walked around the side over here by their vehicles, because the vehicles would have blocked them from cameras, and I originally believed that they walked back here.
You know what, baby?
The problem with the stranger danger aspect of it is this child was isolated.
You don't know that. You do not know that.
Chris and Katie did not let this child do anything.
For his own safety.
This child either was home or with them if he was staying at their house. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When he had summer break, he went to his father's house. When he had Christmas break, he went to his father's house. Every other weekend, he went to his father's house.
Well,
When he was
Jason,
at
money-
Katie and Chris's house, he was made to stay inside. He was made
No, he was not. You fucking scuss bucket.
to be, either do as I say or have everything that you love.
No, you must try to have manners. Unlike you. Unlike you, ma'am. You gone way too far. Maybe you need to step back and shut the fuck up.
Taken away and thrown in the garbage.
No, that's not true. So stop.
This family was going through a divorce because
That's true. Nobody says that except you. And Justin, stop that nonsense. You're a piece of crap. I had to go right now.